Reptile barn. Very excited to report back on our first round of breeding. We had thrown in 6 males with 6 different females. That wasn't all of our males, but a couple of them were in shed and other things. But of the 6 that we started, 4 of them locked up. 5th one realized the next day, because it was kind of late when we put him in, I wasn't paying attention, and one of them was in shed and he did not lock up. The 6th one, he got in position. It looked like he was kind of courting her. I never visually confirmed a lock though, so I'm not going to count that. But 4 of them visually saw a lock, and so we're going to walk you through what happened, and then I think we're going to give the Dominicans their first round, if you will. So here we go. We had Greg was the one that I realized too late was in shed. He did not lock up. Charmander is in shed. He didn't go in. Gandalf, our Mystic Potion. There he is. He locked up with Storm, our Desert Ghost. The hope there is to get some Mystic Het Desert Ghosts and some Mojave Het Desert Ghosts, which we can breed together and get a Mystic Potion Desert Ghost, which I think would be superb. Dragonite. Here's Dragonite, our beautiful boy. He is our banana lace blackback. He locked up with Shayla, the banana cinnamon, which I am very excited about. Although last year they locked up a bunch of times too and she didn't lay. But I'm very excited to see they hit it off well right off the bat. Hopefully she will lay for us. That would be wonderful. Next, Thor, the Spider Desert Ghost. He was the one that may have locked up with a pied up there. I'm not sure. I didn't visually see, so I'm not going to count it. But they looked like they were at least interested, which is great. Jonas, let's check on them actually, because last night when I went to pull out all the males, Jonas, our first-time breeder, Lavender Albino, was locked up with T. Switty, our female Lavender Albino. Let's see if they're finished. They are. They are done. So, you know, when I put him in there, Gavin, my son, was like, Daddy, they look the same. Yes, they do. Luckily, the female is bigger. This is Jonas. He also is a little bit paler. Anyways, good job, Jonas. I'm going to open up your cage a little bit so I can get you started in there. Alright. Good job, bud. Go home. Good job, T-Sweetie. You did great. Beautiful, beautiful mutation, guys. Love the Lavender Albinos. So I'll take his tag and put it back, and you'll see that on the card here, Jonas's card, I put the date that I started them, and a little asterisk to indicate that they did indeed lock up. And who else? Let's see about these guys. This is the one that I was so excited for, guys, because Leo, pretty young still. He is our banana and sheep hide. Didn't know if it was going to take him a while to get going or if he was going to be ready right off the bat. His weight's good, you know. He's up over 700 grams now, but I didn't know if he was going to be ready since he'd never bred before. But last night he was still locked up with Hari, our big desert ghost. And you know what? Oh, no, they're finished. See? Still in position. Their tails kind of mingling together, but no longer locked up. And you can see in the middle of their courting, she actually pooped. A really big poop. He crawled all through it. It got gross, but I did not bathe him because obviously they were breeding. I'm glad I didn't because a few minutes later, they locked up. Now, you will see, if you look carefully, I don't know what the camera will show, little bits, here's some. I have noticed, guys, And I haven't really heard a bunch of other breeders talk about this. I'm not sure if it's just mine or if people just don't talk about it, or if I've just missed it when they do talk about it. But my females, when they're feeling very receptive, such as during a rainstorm, which is when we started them, they will kind of lift their tail a little bit off the ground, waggle it back and forth, and sometimes they even, I'm not sure if it's pee or some sort of musk, some kind of, pheromone or something, but they definitely have this reaction when they are receptive to the male. Not that they have to do that in order for the male to breed them. Sometimes they just kind of lay there and the male will breed them. But in this case, two of my females, as soon as I put the male in, they started tail lifted, started waggling it back and forth, and they bred. And I think that that was a really good thing for Leo, since he's such a young male and he's quite a bit smaller than this female. I was really happy with that, because I think that that encourages the males. It kind of gets their hormones going, testosterone might go up, gets them more in the mood, I guess. But yeah, so some of their cages are a little bit messy. Let's go ahead and get his cage open. Get my stool over here. Pull out Mr. Leo. Good job, Leo. You did it. Oh, guys, by the way, I always check their vent, the males, during breeding season, very regularly, just in case of a prolapse, when a little bit of the lining there, the tissue of the inside of them, gets stuck out of the body, or like if a hemipene were to be stuck outside of the body and unable to retract back into its natural position, inside the tail, which is where the males hold their genitalia. He was fine. I've never had it happen, but I always check, because you want to catch that immediately and get it taken care of as fast as possible. You don't want to let that go. So I think that's everybody, guys. The 4 locks. Leo, really excited about. Got a lot of stuff for him this year. I think we're putting him to 5 females, so I really wanted him to, take off here, and he did. So that's fantastic. Jonas, who had never bred before, but he's a year older than Leo. I wasn't too worried about him. A lot bigger as well. And then Gandalf and Dragonite that are veterans, so wasn't worried about them either. But yeah, what a great way to start it. Let's go ahead and pull out Big Dan and see if he's interested. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I was going to wait till December, actually, and we're almost to November, so it's almost a month earlier than I intended. But he missed a meal for the first time all year. He never misses meals. He eats in shed. He eats, the dude just eats. So, to me, we've been dropping the nighttime temperatures for about a month in there, and I think he's just ready to go. So, I'm going to put him in with the female. I don't want to kind of waste this time where he's fasting, if you know what I mean. I'd like to just, if he's showing me that he's ready to go, I'm going to put him in. Same thing we did with the ball pythons, kind of starting them a week early. We had that rain system come in, and the barometric pressure change, I've heard from a lot of breeders, for whatever reason, it throws the ball pythons into the breeding mode. So I just went with it, and I'm glad that we did, because we had great success. Not that these breedings are the ones that generally get the females gravid, but you definitely want to establish it's breeding time, go males go, kind of thing. And you want the females to start building follicles. And most breeders think that the more you breed them, the more you actually get them to copulate, the females will begin to build their follicles. So that's why I'm really happy about this, even though it's not like these breedings are going to result in a gravid snake, but it's still a great step. So let's grab Big Dan and put him in with Little Ann. Now these two are an unrelated pair. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. They're both Dominican Red Mountain Boas. We got them at the same time as subadults, but they are not related. Or as unrelated as, it gets in captivity with a species that doesn't have, millions of them in captivity like a ball python. So she, I'm guessing, is in this log here. That's her favorite spot, although she has been spending more time over here. Probably because, we're dropping the night temperatures, so she goes over, the hot side is actually over there. So sometimes she comes out in the morning when the heat turns on and basks over there for a little while. Same with Big Dan. I'm not sure where he is. Oh, he's over on the hot side right now. So let's grab him out. Hey, Big Dan. Yeah, you didn't eat last night, huh? You're regretting that? Wish you'd eaten? I gotta be careful, guys, because he did not eat. Whole room still probably smells like rodent from last night. I don't want to get bit. He also is looking a little dim. I wonder if he didn't eat because he might be going into a shed. But you know what? I'm here. Might as well get this done. Hey, bud. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. No, don't run. Don't run. I gotcha. Let go, please. I don't think he's in shed. I think we're going to give him a go. She's in there. And you know what, guys? I may have talked about this last year. I really love the differences behaviorally from the ball pythons to these guys. It's not nighttime, and these guys will get way more active at night. But the ball pythons are very calm, and you know the little tail waggle I was describing a minute ago. It's about as excitable as they get. These guys, though, they'll chase all over the cage. The female will run, the male will pursue her. She lets him catch up, and then she runs off again. It's really a cool. Close this so that don't get surprised. There we go. But it's really a cool kind of courtship ritual that this species has. And I had never heard of it, so maybe just my two, I don't know. But the female will kind of run off, climbing all over, uses the full space of the cage. He comes, and then she stops and lets him catch up, right? Then she takes off again. Does this several times. She lets him get further and further each time he catches her, to the point where his spurs can rub up and down her back, and then she'll let him do that for a minute, and then she runs off again, and then he chases her down. And finally, it gets to the point where he's so far caught up to her that their heads are about the same position, and his spurs are rubbing right along her back, and then she lets him, wrap the tail. And these are like a semi-arboreal species, so they have much longer, skinnier tails than the ball pythons. So it looks more like, tree boas, where their tails just wrap like crazy in this little curlicue. It's really cool because I got used to how the ball pythons breed, and then last year, the few times we threw the male in before we decided that it was probably too early, that's how their whole courtship went. It was really cool. So hopefully I'll be able to catch it on camera this year and show you guys. It's just a unique thing that I hadn't seen before. So anyways, I thought it was cool. Hopefully you guys will too. Anyways, that's our report for the first week of breeding season. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really excited to get all these pairs going. Really excited for these guys. I hope it turns out well and that we get a bunch of babies next year out of this. And yeah, so let us know what you think. And until next time, we're the Reptile Barn.